Hi everybody, it is me, Corrie Sommers, your local Los Angeles luxury realtor. Today we're going to be discussing the area of the Hollywood Hills here in Los Angeles. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please take a moment to do so by clicking the subscribe button below and make sure you click the bell for updates. I'll be right back. Hi everybody, it is me, Corrie Sommers, your local Los Angeles luxury realtor. Today we're going to be diving into the area of the Hollywood Hills. Where exactly is that, and why might this be a part of Los Angeles that you might want to explore to live in? So the Hollywood Hills is obviously a hillside community. It is kind of like central part of the LA basin. On one side, it actually touches Studio City at the top of Mulholland. On the other side, you have Beverly Hills to the south. You have Los Feliz on the southeast and Coldwater Canyon to the west. So it kind of like dumps right around Hollywood. And if you're familiar with that part of Hollywood and can kind of visualize where the Sunset Strip is and where Coldwater Canyon is, you have a pretty good sense of where it is, right? It also, though, includes Forest Lawn and the Hollywood Reservoir, the Hollywood sign, obviously, the Hollywood Bowl, and the John Anson Ford Theater. So the Hollywood Hills itself is comprised of two major areas. You've got the Hollywood Hills East and the Hollywood Hills West. Now, this is basically broken up by the Cahuenga Pass. It's not like they, necessarily deliberately thought, hey, let's have an East and West Hollywood Hills, but it really geographically is just broken up right there. Each side of the pass contains various canyons, parks, and very distinctive neighborhoods. If you love panoramic views, nature, the Hollywood Hills might be the spot for you to live in. I mean, really and truly being in the hills provides a tranquil setting that you just can't get in the city. It's like you're just a little bit above and a small step away. Now, if you're thinking about moving into the Hollywood Hills, you're going to find that your neighbors are attorneys, studio executives, maybe a celebrity or two. Really this has been who's made up the homes in the hillside here in Hollywood Hills. It's just been a favorite area for artists, for writers, for musicians, and the hills are just dotted with an array of homes from trophy mansions all the way to like funky bungalows. The Sunset Strip is probably the largest area of the Hollywood Hills on the west, and the strip obviously is worldwide famous. It's been in tons and tons of movies and is famous for nightclubs and bars and venues, music venues and concerts and all that. But the Sunset Strip itself has an enclave in the hills known as the Bird Streets and Doheny Estates. Now the Bird Streets, we're going to probably touch on that a little bit more in a later video, but these streets are literally named after birds, like robin, nightingale, oriole. I know I'm saying that wrong, but you get my drift. When you drive through those neighborhoods, it's like navigating a maze. It can be very difficult if you're a visitor and you don't know where you're going, but once you've lived in the area, you can really zip through like a pro. Not that I'm advising you do so. Along the ridgetop on Mulholland Drive sits Fryman Canyon, and it's really a favorite for hiking, running. You can take your dogs there, especially right now during COVID where they've opened up some of these trails. People are getting out. A lot of people are wearing your mask on the trails. Dogs are getting out. It's been hard for everyone to be cooped up. The Bird Streets obviously float along the LA basin, and you really get some of the most powerful views in all of LA. Now, here's something you may not know. Below the Outpost Estates is Hollywood Heights. And in this neighborhood, there are secret stairs here. That's right. Many people are aware of the Santa Monica stairs. I actually covered that in my video on Santa Monica. But throughout Los Angeles, there are a number of stairs that were built into the hillside back when there was, what do you call those? The streetcar lines were running throughout Los Angeles. And so these stairways were how people got to and from. Obviously, the streetcar lines are gone. That was in the 1920s to the 30s. And with LA being a car town, the stairs are mostly used today for just a cardiovascular workout, and they are phenomenal. Whitney Heights is another exclusive enclave here in the Hollywood Hills West area, dotted with luxury homes, mostly in a Spanish style. It's a relatively historic district, and many of the homes were built with the rise of the motion picture industry back in the 1920s. So there's a lot of charm and character there. Beechwood Canyon is part of the Hollywood Hills East, and it was developed in 1923. There's also a set of stairs there too. When the Hollywood sign underwent repairs in 1949, the last four letters land was dropped. Some of you may or may not know that history, but it's definitely part of what makes the Hollywood sign very iconic and what most people think about when they think about Los Angeles, right? Well, most people that are not from here. So obviously we have a hillside, there's lots of hiking, there's lookout points. You could spend time driving through the hills. There's obviously some tour buses throughout Los Angeles that you can pick up, especially if you're entertaining out-of-town guests. Sometimes that can be kind of fun. And of course, there's the Griffith Park Observatory, the Los Angeles Zoo, Bronson Canyon, and Runyon Canyon, which has become extremely popular now for hiking. You can bring your dog. It's a phenomenal workout. It can be tough, grueling, but an enjoyable way to get a workout for you, your friends, and your pets. Like much of Los Angeles, the Hollywood Hills has a draw for celebrities. Who doesn't want to live where you're in nature, get a view, and kind of in a little tranquil, relaxing step away from the city, right? So that said, of course, there are a number of celebrities, past and present, that have lived in the Hollywood Hills, including Kevin Costner, Christina Aguilera, Sam Cooke, Richard Dreyfuss, Lady Gaga, Selma Hayek, Helen Hunt, Billy Idol, Demi Lovato, Matthew Perry, Chris Pratt, Quentin Tarantino, and many more. We're going to get into one of the segments that I have really truly enjoyed while shooting these videos, which is covering 3 properties that are on the market at the time of recording this video to give you a sense of what real estate goes for in the Hollywood Hills. So we're going to touch upon one of the lowest on the market today, mid-price, and the highest. So the first is selling for $1,098,000. It's at 3112 Ledgewood Drive. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. Can you imagine paying $1 million, 2-bedroom, 2-bath home? Of course, that's not uncommon here in Los Angeles. 1,272 square feet on a 7,135 square foot lot. So it's a pretty good lot size. And it's basically an entry home right in Beechwood Canyon. Now, it is an updated mid-century modern home, which of course gives me all the feelings. It was remodeled in 2016, has several outdoor spaces, loungy areas, and sitting areas with just, again, the phenomenal hillside views. This is why you move to this area. And it's very close to some of the walking trails, especially by the Hollywood sign and Griffith Park Observatory. Second property we're covering is selling for $13,500,000. It is at 1853 Marshita Place. It's a 6-bedroom, 7-bathroom home, 658 square feet, and it's a decent sized lot. It's over 25,000 square feet, and it's in the Doheny Estates. Now, this is a newer built home with modern finishes. It was designed by architect Jay Vanos, and it's a gated home. It has a home theater, which is super important, especially right now during COVID. A gym, a wine cellar, an over zero edge pool, and a 3-car garage. So it's a pretty spectacular home. If you like new construction, this could definitely be an option for you. The third property is just going for a sweet $62 million. Yeah, $62 million. It's located at 1301 Collingwood Place. It's a 5-bedroom, 8-bathroom, 15,000 plus square foot home on a 29,000 plus lot. So it's a really good sized lot. This is on a promontory, and a promontory is basically kind of, picture it like an island, if you will, like set up above a little bit of an island. It's got panoramic views over Los Angeles. It was designed by Olsen Kundig, who's one of the greatest modern architectural firms today. The house took 6 years to build. 6 years, $62 million. You're kind of getting why? Now, no expense was spared. There's unbranded organic wood used, stone and board formed concrete, a 15-car garage gallery. I mean, this is not for your everyday person, right? There's basically enough space for 250 gatherings, so this is really ideal for someone who has a lot of vehicles, who maybe works in entertainment, who does a lot of entertaining or philanthropy, and really just entertains. Now, this also has expansive decks and a lounge area and a pool that spills out over the LA skyline. So it's just phenomenal. So hopefully everything I've shared with you about the Hollywood Hills today kind of gives you just like a brief sense of what the Hollywood Hills are like and a brief sense of what homes go for. There's definitely a range. There's a little something for everybody, you know? So if you are relocating to Los Angeles and you're considering the Hollywood Hills, first of all, I have a relocation guide below and a guide on the Hollywood Hills. If you are already living in Los Angeles and you're thinking, you know, I've been living in the flats and I want to take a step up and I am still single, or we only have one kid and an entry-level home could work for us, let's talk, because I definitely can help you with that. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Again, if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please take a moment to go ahead and do so. Click the subscribe button below, as well as the bell for updates, and I'll see you next time on the next neighborhood video.